Welcome back. It's Twin Cities Live. The COVID-19 pandemic certainly changed the way that we have gathered and celebrated events, and perhaps quite a few of our holiday traditions as well.
Our happy medium and intuitive coach, Jodi Livon, still wants to help you celebrate the holidays with grace and gratitude. She joins us live on Skype with more. Hi there, Jodi.
Hi, Jodi.
Hi, how are you?
We're doing really good. Jodi always seems like she's just doing so well. She's always so happy. You always bring this great energy to your segments. Now, what I like about this, Jodi, is this is bite-sized. This is 3 steps that we can all be mindful of as we approach the holiday season. Step number 1, be flexible. We all need to hear this. The floor is yours.
So being flexible, obviously we have to be. We've never done this before. And that can be fun because we can make up our own rules. Like when we were little, we wanted to make up our own rules. We get to do that right now. We get to bend the rules and do things that are really different. We can do things that aren't messy to clean up. We can make things really easy. We can make a mess if we want. We can dress up if we want. Just easy peasy. Just make it very stressless.
But what would you say to the person who, being flexible and changing things, sort of gives them maybe like a little pang of sadness because they think, but the tradition was we did this or we went here. When those feelings start to bubble up, what should you do with those?
Great question. So the thing about it is, because we can't compare it to anything else, all things aren't equal. So just to say, I can't compare this to anything else. We've never done anything like this before. God willing, we won't have to ever do anything like this again. So I can just make things up that I wanted to do when I was little. I can have it be a cartoon Christmas or a cartoon holiday if I want. And make sure that you don't compare, because how could you? It's not apples to oranges.
Right. So
There's
true.
one thing that I find that I am not right now. I think it's because, you know, when you can work from home, you kind of feel like you're always doing a little bit of work here and there. And so being present, I lack that, and I feel like I'm not alone. So you say the theme for this holiday season is to be present, not to get presents, to be present.
Exactly. Exactly. To just be mindful and be present and let the people that you are with physically know that you're there. Look them in the eye. And if you're doing something virtual, be mindful of how you're feeling and of how the people that you're talking to are feeling, because that presence actually really is better than a present.
You know, what is it with us, Jodi? We humans, boy, we can screw things up. Because think of this, when you're present in conversation with someone, that's the most enriching conversation. That's when you hear the other person and you start to feel like you're in tune with them, and then the conversations go all sorts of places that no one had planned, and usually in a pretty meaningful way. That being said, it still takes great discipline to be present.
To put down the phone.
Why aren't we present more? What's going on?
Well, right now especially, I think there's so many things that we haven't processed, because there's so much, and we think, well, we need to process it all and move on. But sometimes you just process what you can, and then you just keep moving. And then you'll have something to look back on and think, I did that really well. So our minds are on something else because our hearts are somewhere else. If we can bring our heart to where we are, we'll be a lot more present.
There was someone who spoke at our college once, and he said that his wife told him, they were in a grocery store, and she was like, hey, should we get yams or whatever? And he was like, yeah, that's fine. And then she said, hey, be here now. Like, be in this moment right now. And I always remember that. Just be here just right now. And if we live that way, boy, life becomes so much more colorful.
It sure does. And, you know, you also say be patient. So patience is a virtue. It's very hard to find when there's distance learning, when it's Christmas, which always feels a little more stressful, and then throw in a pandemic. But you say just allow yourself to process it all.
And be patient with yourself. Be patient with other people. Be patient with yourself. Find your peace. And you know, when you can do that, you allow yourself time to process the pressure in a way that doesn't pressure you. And this is how you lull your fear into peace. This is how you find some peace, just by doing that. Be patient with yourself. If you're patient with yourself, you're going to be patient with other people too.
That is the truth of the matter. You know, Kelly, you started going into a saying. Do we all know this saying? And hear me out. Don't judge me, ladies, okay?
Okay.
Patience is a virtue. Okay. Obtain it if you can. Seldom found in women. Never found in man. You got impatient right in the middle of that, and you thought, what is he saying about women? But
what is he doing?
Actually, about men. It's the truth of the matter, though, Jodi, when we just say, It's okay to say, we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're one day at a time. That is really another way of saying I'm just being patient with this process. And then also, I think, Jodi, having the hope that at some point, date to be determined, life will get back to normal, and we don't want to look back on this time as the lost year. Who are we just talking to? Gavin Kaysen just said yesterday, either get bitter or better.
Or better.
And we should
it's not the lost year. It really, I mean, you really have to look at it glass half full, or else you're not going to make it through. I mean, you just take the pressure off. My girls were doing a obstacle course today with blankets and bean bags, and I normally would have said, stop, what are you doing? I'm trying to work.
But Jodi says, have that kid Christmas.
Yeah.
Just be silly.
I just let him, and it felt so good to just relax about things.
So we compare ourselves to other people. We compare holidays to other holidays. If we can just wipe that out completely and we have pizza maybe for the holidays, and not things that we normally do, then we can look back at this not as such a difficult time, although of course it is, but as a time where you got to spend time with some of your favorite people.
Yes.
I mean, think about that.
Yes, that is so true. It's a good reminder to everybody watching at home right now. I'm speaking to myself first and foremost.
Speak to me.
No matter what happened in these last 8 or 9 months and how well you feel you've done with the quarantine, today starts anew. Let's be better, not bitter, as this thing wraps up. Jodi, it's great to have you on the show. Nice to see you again. Happy holidays to you.
Yes, and if you're looking for inspirational holiday gifts, consider purchasing a copy of Jodi's books. We have posted a link to both of those on TwinCitiesLive.com.